Hello, everyone. Welcome to SAVEDnews TV. I am your host, AZ Hubbard, and we are here again today to discuss Marvin Sapp. As some of you may know, and whether you watched our previous video, which I'll link up here, yeah, here, um, regarding the $40,000 debacle, offering debacle, where he asked for $20 from 1,000 in the arena, which would have been 20,000, and another 20,000 or $20 per person of the 1,000 people that was watching online. Well, he has now responded to the video. So first, before I respond to his reply on the Ricky Smiley show, I'm going to show you the original video. I'm not going to respond again because I did a deep, long response on the original video, and I encourage you to watch that. So let's look at the original that is in question. So let's get to it. Yes.
And understand the cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors.
Okay.
We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. I'm challenging each of you all down here to give a $20 seed. I actually think $20 is a lot of money. $20, believe it or not, when my late wife Melinda P. Sapp was alive, was a good date. I could take her to the movies, buy a box of popcorn, get one soda, 2 straws. I wasn't cheap, that's swag. I was looking in her eyes, she's looking in mine. Can't do that no more. Now everyone up here, we've all sold and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs to seed up here. I got you. Let's see. So put your 20 away, preachers. That 20 wasn't for you. And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, or even if you're giving tangibly, I'm gonna have y'all come to the altar and give it, because I need to see 1,000 people moving. Bring them baskets. I want the baskets up here. I want to see the folk. Y'all start moving. Bring it right. Come. Even if you're giving tangibly, just put your hand on take your phone and stick it on the bucket. Shh. Giving is worship. Giving is worship. Giving is worship. Giving is worship. This ain't the time to talk. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people online need to give $20. This is easy, saints. This is an easy miracle to raise $40,000 tonight just from y'all giving. That's it.
Everybody. So what happened was, after this leaked, then Marvin Sapp received a lot, and I mean a lot of backlash. I mean, there's memes everywhere, there's videos everywhere. The heat got under his feet, and it was hot. So now, in order to save face, he goes on the Ricky Smiley show, his good friend Ricky Smiley, to explain what has happened. Now we're going to critique this video. And I'll just critique it. I won't preface it with anything, but I'll critique this as we go. So I want to make sure, you know, that we're critiquing this video. And keep in mind that Ricky Smiley is Marvin Sapp's friend. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. I had it on mute.
Rick Smiley Morning Show, 25 minutes after the hour, y'all. Our next guest has been all over the internet lately, and he's here with us today to set the record straight. He's an award-winning singer, bishop, and pastor of the Chosen Vessel Church in Fort Worth, Texas. Joining us this morning is a friend of the show, Marvin Sapp. And good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, so now as you can clearly see, and that even Ricky Smiley admits that Marvin Sapp is his friend, and he is bringing him on the show. So let's see what happens here.
Good morning. Thank you. And listen, let me say this. I'm not here to exploit this situation. You are my friend.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm a real friend. I'm a loyal friend. You understand?
Okay, you can be a real friend and a loyal friend and call stuff out. And that's the problem. That's the problem I see today, is that people like someone, they're your friend, but they don't want to hold people accountable. But anyway, let's get on with this. And I have to stop and start so I won't run into copyright issues. So we know what it is, okay?
And I haven't even talked to you this week.
No,
I know your phone was blowing up, but everything that you sat here and said during the commercial break, I already knew. You don't have to explain that to me. I grew up in the church in your own way. In your own. Let's start with the attacks that are on you and the death threats on you and your family. Well,
okay, so evidently, he's Marvin Sapp is saying that there's attacks on him and his family because of this video. So now, first, let me say this: nobody should be attacking Marvin Sapp. You did not have to, part with your $20. And even if probably, you're not there, you weren't there. So, we can critique and everything, but do not be physically or verbally attacking people. But we do have the right to call a spade and call craziness out. Okay, so let's just start there.
Well, let me just start.
Just whatever way you want to start.
Let me just start by saying first, Ricky, I thank you for this opportunity.
Yes, sir.
I thank you for the opportunity to be able to come on your show and for you to use your platform to give me a chance to just, add context.
Yeah.
Some context to, a clip that, a whole lot of people have seen,
Okay, so now he's going to provide us with some context and clarity, as we are not supposed to believe our lying eyes. But anyway, we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt and let him give some context and clarity to the situation. Go ahead, Marvin. Continue.
Sadly, one of the things that has happened is, people have created a narrative that is absolutely not true. Number one, the narrative was created, excuse me, that I raised the money at my church, that I kept the people at my church hostage until I raised $40,000 for me. That's the narrative that has been shared.
Okay, so that's the narrative that you were in your church. Okay, so people didn't know where it was. It doesn't matter whether you were in your church, somebody else's church, convention center. It doesn't matter. When you, as a leader, tell someone to close the doors, you are thereby, especially in the position of power, people feel like they have no option. Okay, you have to consider the whole thing. People don't feel like they can some people disobey what the man of God has said, and you're like, close the door, close the door. So spare me with this narrative here, but let's listen.
Lock folks up in my church.
Well, yeah, actually, in essence, when you tell ushers to stand at the door even though physically you might not have put a key in and locked it, in essence you did, because if the ushers is standing in front of the door, a lot of people are not confrontational. They will not question, they will not get up and move. People like me will, and some of my viewers, but there are a lot of people that will not do that, and they probably felt like they were trapped in there by the sheer intimidation of the pastor telling them to shut the door, then telling the ushers to go to the door, go shut the door, and they were standing in front of the door. So stop with the Semitics here, okay?
I wouldn't allow them to leave.
People of people in that building that felt like they could not leave until that money was raised. You said, and that's why I played the clip from the beginning, at the beginning of the video, the original clip, so you can see, for those that did not see the original, how this went down. Now he can try to explain this all he wants, but it is what it is, and it was a bad look.
Until they gave it to me, and be honest with you.
No. You get, when you taking up an offering, you were the head, you were the leader, standing up there, you were the representative of this offering, okay?
That is absolutely false.
Yeah.
Number one, that offering was taken last year.
Okay, so we just finding out about it. Why does it matter when the offering was taken? It was taken, it was on video. So that excuse your behavior because it was done last year, Marvin Sapp? I'm asking for a friend.
This was a service that happened last August. Number two, it didn't happen at my local church. It actually happened at a national organization's international meeting, where churches from all over the country, all over the world came together for the purpose of celebrating the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
No. They might have came together, but it was for a fundraiser, okay? They weren't coming to celebrate our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because if it was, now that you clarify, wasn't at your church, but which I did say in my initial video, because he did mention that in his written statement that we also went over in my original video, that it was at a convention center. So that it was a conference. So that tells me, if you got people coming from all over the world, that conference was not free. So the people, and clarify this for me, if you can, Marvin Sapp, was the conference free to enter for those people that you were demanding an offering from? If the conference was not free, then they had already paid to get in. If the conference was free, then you should have had your money. Either way, you all should have had the money up front before you rented a building trying to have a conference. That's the way it works. You don't rely on no offering to pay the bills.
People took issue with me saying shut the doors. Understand, I never said lock the doors.
Yeah.
Okay, we're with Semitics. It's our fault because we took issue with you for people saying that you said shut the door. Man, you were aggressive. You were aggressive with the shut the door. I'm going to pull this up again. Let me get this clip again. Because he wants to make it seem like that it wasn't an aggressive shut the door. I mean, people taking issues with me saying shut the door. So let's pull this up again so we can watch this, because he's just glossing over the fact that what actually transpired here. He's just making it too simple. It's just too simple. So let's bring this up. so we can hear this again, since he wanted to make it, I didn't say lock the door, I said shut the door. Okay, like,
and they understand the cost involved.
okay, come
There's
on.
1,000 of you. I said close them doors.
I said close them doors. That's what it said.
Ushers, close the doors.
Ushers,
Close
close
the
the door.
doors. Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant.
So in what world is this just a normal thing? And he's glossing over it like, oh, that we took issue with the way he said that. And he, come on, man. Stop the cap.
I said, shut the doors. Shutting doors mean that people still have the ability to go in and out.
Okay. You have to realize that you are the pastor. You are a pastor. Now, again, it said it was at a convention center, a third party building, and they had the doors, you said shut the doors. But as a figurehead, whether it's in a church building or a conference, people still feel like they need to obey the pastor. Okay, so you can try to twist and worm your way out of this. It is what it is. Please just take responsibility instead of all this talking, all of this. Only you should be saying, listen, I made a mistake, I did it in error, I don't like that look, and I ask for forgiveness and move on. People can respect that. All of this talking, man, come on, you just digging it deeper.
They've taken issue with my tone, and
Yeah, we took issue with your tone. Do I need to play it again for you, Marvin Sapp? Evidently, I do.
That is involved.
This.
There's 1,000 of you. I say close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all.
Okay. So now, for some reason, we took issue. We weren't supposed to take issue with that. See, that's the problem. These pastors gotten too comfortable with hoodwinking the church, and they think.
honestly say, looking at the video, maybe I was a little more assertive than I should have been.
Maybe you were a little more assertive than you should have been. No, man, you were downright aggressive. And maybe, did you see yourself? Do I have to play this again? I'm gonna have to play this again. So so we can just see for ourselves, because that he don't want us to believe our lying eyes.
Cost that's involved. There's 1,000 of you. I said close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna leave together.
Okay. So now is maybe I was a little bit more assertive. Maybe. Nah, man, it is what it is. Own up to it. This is a problem I have, not being able to take accountability for what you did. It's just as simple as this.
And I can apologize for that. I can apologize for that. But three things I need to make sure that people understand. Number one.
Okay, he said he can apologize for that. But there's three things. He didn't apologize for that. He said maybe I can apologize for that. Let me make sure now, so I won't put words in his mouth. Here.
Looking at the video, maybe I was a little more assertive than I should have been. And I can apologize for that. I can apologize for that. But three things I need.
Okay, he said, but I can apologize for that. But did we hear an apology? There's no apology. Absolutely none. No, zero, zip, nada, not one apology.
To make sure that people understood. Number one, the $40,000, if it was $40,000 that was raised, was never given to me.
Okay, he said the money that was raised was not given to him. All right, that's all well and good. Doesn't matter whether it's given to you or not. What matters is it. Also, my question is, Did you get paid for the conference, or were you there for free? If you got paid for the conference, then yes, whatever was raised during that, part of that probably came from that offering. Okay, so let's not, here we go with Semitics again. I'm done.
That money was raised for the purpose of taking care of the budget for their conference.
Okay, now first, you said it was the money that was raised was you came together to celebrate the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, but now the money was for um for their budget for their conference. If you don't have the money to cover the cost for a conference, then don't have a conference. Don't get to the conference and act like you gonna raise the money there. Okay, it's just like when I do an event. I just recently had one. When I do an event, I look for sponsors, ticket sales, and all that. But if that doesn't cost, that means I have to come out of my personal pocket. I don't get in my event and have people pay ticket price and then come behind that, and sponsors pay checks and come behind that once they get in there and then take up an offering. Even though it wasn't a Christian event, the last one was a women's empowerment event, but still I could have taken up an offering. You know what I'm saying? When you have events, if you don't have the money already before you even start planning, then you don't need to do it. Don't look for the people to give you 1,000 people to give you $20 for $20,000 from the people inside the building, and another $20 for from 1,000 people online for $4,000. This is just messed up, Marvin Sapp. And the sooner you realize this and accept this and take accountability, the better off it's going to be. Okay, you cannot, this is one thing that the church does, is that they start and doing things, but then they rely on the people for an offering. If you don't have the money from the beginning, don't do it. I have to commend my leaders from churches, some churches that I have belonged. We would invite people in to speak before excuse me, before the person even arrived. We had their check written. Okay, before the person spoke, their check, when they came in, if they demanded an honorarium, when they came in to the sanctuary, our department had that check already written. The money was already there. We did not rely on an offering to pay for people or our events. Now that's the way a church done right is supposed to do it. When they came into the building, we had their tax papers ready, their 1099s for receiving the honorarium, and along with their check before they even hit the stage. Okay, that's the way it's done. That's the way the body of Christ is supposed to do. Decency and order, not waiting and hoping. And then even if you did have all your expenses paid for by the event and the ticket sales, now you're going to milk the people again, continuously milking the people to raise even more money. It's a travesty the way the body of Christ fleeced the sheep. Some of them.
Not Marvin Sapp. Number two, it didn't happen at my church.
It doesn't matter, again, where it happened. You were the one that was standing on that stage, Marvin Sapp. You were the representative of this debacle, okay?
It happened in Baltimore. Number three, people take issue with me being firm with the ushers. Anybody that goes to church, ushers one-on-one, that's the first thing they teach you as being an usher, is that there are 3 times you don't walk.
Okay. You can be firm with people that, you know, that's fine. excuse excuse me. But that was more than firm. That was aggressive, the way he was with the ushers. And if that wasn't your church, that means those weren't your ushers. These were other people that you were talking to that's not under your leadership. Or did you bring your own ushers in? I don't know. Marvin said, why don't you tell us and explain and clarify that? These are the important issues since you want to bring them up. And as far as times not moving in church, let's listen. what he's saying because I know.
You don't walk during the altar call. You don't walk during prayer. You don't walk during the offering.
Okay, now this is where I take issue with him. Yes, I agree. You don't walk during altar call. I agree. You don't walk through during prayer. But I don't agree with you don't walk during offering because I know I've been to churches because of the schemes that the pastors and the leaders use during offering. Time it gets time for offering, everybody got to go to the bathroom. So I don't know about this not walking during the offering, but okay, if you say so, Marvin Sapp.
One of the reasons being is because of the sacredness of the moment.
Okay, say so. Yes, altar call, prayer. Yes, those are sacred and offering. But unfortunately, the offering become condemned, tarnished because of these types of annex by the leadership and pastors of churches and ministries.
But it's also about security. As a pastor, we understand and we know that churches are being robbed at gunpoint.
Okay. Now, I don't know. There's churches being robbed at gunpoint. I don't know how frequently that happened. All I have to say is, I was a hand armor bearer and one of my churches and that I attended. And I will say that if you walked up in that piece crazy, not just the armor bearers was packing, but we had, other people already strategically placed that's packing. So you walk up in there trying to hold up something, you're gonna get full of lead. You're gonna get a lead offering coming from multiple directions. You're not gonna know what hit you. Now I know all churches don't believe in security at that nature, at that level, but um I'll just say that some churches don't play that game. Okay.
It's happening all over the country. This is not something I'm making up. This is factual. So if 5,000 people in a room,
Okay, so now it's gonna jump from 1,000 in the original video. Now there's 5,000. Okay, Marvin said.
want the doors closed. You don't want the doors locked. I couldn't get them locked anyway. It's a convention center. But
Okay, so I'm sure that in order for you all to get in that convention center, that building had to be paid already before you even entered. That bill was paid. So you know, the bill was paid. So now I'm even more confused why we needed to do all of this extra. Okay, because I know no building that you lease is going to allow you in there until that bill is paid. And most buildings that you lease, depending on where you're at, the buildings that least, you have 3 weeks, 30 days to pay it prior to your event to have that building paid, that contract paid. If not, they're matching your contract. So please, I guess, you know, with this making people, just over explaining all these excuses, it's just too much. Just take responsibility for what you did and leave it there.
doors needed to be closed, and there was a lot of pandemonium that was going on out there. But I wanted to share that first. But that ain't even the reason why I'm here. Here's the reason why I'm here.
Okay.
The reason why I'm here is because what has happened is people have taken clickbait and made something out of it that it isn't. And because of that,
Okay, what is clickbait and made something out of it that is no, that's not clickbait. It's a whole 2.5 minutes, almost 3 minutes of you trying to get get this offering on. Okay. And you know, are we not supposed to believe our lying eyes? Okay. I'm just asking.
that my church has been getting phone calls. People have called my church and cussed me out. My staff are afraid because I've received death threats.
Okay. For number one, like I said at the beginning of this video, you shouldn't be calling the church, cussing them out. You shouldn't be um issuing unaliving threats to anybody, especially behind this. But anyway, I just question the validity. Not saying that he's lying, because there are people that's have some issues. Um, but I question the unaliving threats behind a $20. Okay. But again, like I said, I don't know. I'm not on the phone taking these calls, but if you are doing something like that, I would encourage you to cease and desist from calling church, cussing them out, and I would encourage you to cease and desist from making unaliving threats towards them.
Over $20 and shut the door. People have come to our campus. They have come to my church to try to cause problems, issues, challenges. And again, my children.
Okay. So if you go into his church creating havoc, don't go to his church creating havoc. Again, that makes you wrong. You have crossed the line. Don't do it.
I don't look at comments. We was talking about this. I don't read comments. When you got millions of followers, you ain't got time to be reading all the comments. You just don't have it.
Right.
My children do. And they are afraid. And the reason being is because I'm their only parent. I'm a widower. They're afraid for my safety. So now we've had
Okay.
and increased security and all.
Okay. I don't know what videos that comments are on. I just, what videos on. I know the video that I did, the only thing, maybe because our audience over here is Save News TV. Woo! Woo! We're not violent like that. We use common sense. We're rational. And we are a great group of people. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. But we're a great group of people over here that use our analytical skills to examine a matter. And so, we don't result into those type of comments. Generally, when I do a video, if I have some crazy comments, those are not the people that generally follow my channel. But if you are doing something like that, please stop it. If you doing stuff like that.
I've never had to do before because of the vitriol and the anger that people have shown, the things that they've said in my thread and stuff. And all of this is because of a misunderstanding. And I'm not blaming people.
You're not blaming people, but you just Marvin, give it up, man. Just stop talking about it. Just, apologize, move on. All of this, when people go this much deep into explaining things, it's just too much. It's too much.
Let me be clear, I'm not anybody because of their misunderstanding. I'm just saying in all you're getting, get an understanding. And if I'm sharing with you that the $40,000 that I was trying to raise, and again, I don't know if the organization got 40, 10, 20, any of it. I don't know. I'm hoping that I actually raised more money so that I can help the organization that has been such a great support to me.
Okay, and that's wonderful if you raise more, but it's how you raised it. See, this deflecting. It's deflecting. It's these explanations deflecting. Just totally deflecting.
And again, let's be clear. Not a dime of that money.
Not a dime of that money came to me. Not a dime.
Okay, so now here comes Ricky Smiley as your friend jumping in. Let's be clear, not a dime of that money came to you. How do you know Ricky Smiley? How do you know Marvin Sapp? Were you paid for the conference, or did you do that conference for free? Okay. When all the money is commingled, at the end of the day, some portion of that money came to you if you were paid. Okay. You might not have got a check for what that offering was, but the money commingled from probably sponsors, ticket sales, offering, all of that money mixed in. Everybody got, if the people that got paid, and part of that money was from that offering. We are not stupid. Please do not insult our intelligence. Thank you very much.
And where do your money come from?
I've been blessed. I've been extremely blessed. I've sold millions of records. Millions. I'm a songwriter.
How much have you gotten paid from? And we on radio live,
right?
How much have you gotten paid from your church? I'm just
okay. So I'm not gonna play this all here because I'll play some of it, but now they're going into where his money come from, how he's raised his money, his good deeds that he's done, and all of this. That is deflecting. We are not here for all of that. We are here about the fact of that video. And this just shows me and you that some of these leaders have the inability to accept responsibility when they are caught and called out. They want to blame you. You are now an accuser. You are touching the anointed. Do my prophet no harm, which again, that's taken out of context. We must be held accountable for all of our things that we do. We have to accept responsibility. So now he's going to go on this tirade of his greatness and what he's did. And he's done some great things, and nobody's trying to take that from him. But we're not talking about all of this. We're talking about what he did on that video with that offering. But let's listen to a part of this. We're not going to go through all of it.
Saying,
okay, so
tell
see,
me
Ricky,
what you said during
I'm gonna
the commercial.
tell you what people don't know is that I pastored 16 years in the city of Grand Rapids, Michigan. I founded my church. I pastored 16 years. We had a great church. Still have a great church there. 16 years of pastoring. I never got paid a dime. That's a fact. 16 years. You can call the church. You can ask.
But see, now, again, this is a deflecting. Nobody said that you got paid from a church that you started 16 years ago. We're not interested in that. We're talking about something totally different. Totally different. The deflecting explanation.
I pastored for Life Center Church in Grand Rapids, Michigan for free for 16 years. 9 years of those 16 years, I gave a minimum of $30,000 a month to my church.
Wow. That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome that you did all of that. But we're talking about the video at the beginning, okay? But I applaud you for making that kind of donation and sacrifice.
30 grand a month to my church to ensure that the church could go forward. A lot of stuff. I had a college campus. We had 3 other campuses, and my membership had dwindled after my wife had passed because I had to travel more in order to take care of me and my kids.
Okay, so we understand that, but again, Marvin said we're not talking about that. We're talking about the video at the beginning. See, this is how you take people off course. I want you to don't forget about that. I want you to look at my good words. I'm not apologizing for that. He said, I could apologize for my tone, but never did. He never, throughout this whole video, this is an 18-minute video, and he still I watched the whole thing, did not apologize. But he spent more time in this video explaining that situation than he did telling of how wonderful and how great he is. Okay.
Right. So, my membership, it dwindled, but we never lost. And as a matter of fact, this is factual. The day I announced the new pastor, I burned the mortgage of the church. When I left Grand Rapids, I left my church not only debt free, but I left them with 6 figures in the bank and put a brand new pastor in and walked away and moved to Texas.
Well, that's admirable. That's admirable. I'm proud of you. Let's give him a applause. Let's pause. Give Marvin Sapp an applause for what he did. Let's clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up. Yeah, Marvin Sapp. We're clapping for you. Yeah. Yay. He did it. He did it.
I'm not walking around here trying to be a pimp. I'm not trying to take advantage of people. That's never been my passion. I'm serious about ministry. And let me go one step further. There's a whole lot of other pastors around here that are doing the same thing. Most pastors in America are bivocational, meaning they have jobs outside of their churches. The average church size in America is only 75 people.
Okay. So, here we go. I'm not going to keep listening to this. I'll put the link in the description regarding what, to Ricky Smiley video with him. I just want to say that just take responsibility for what you did. Apologize and move on. Stop trying to explain this over and over and over and over again, because frankly, it's rather tiresome. It really is tiresome. And nobody really honestly can't take you seriously because you won't accept responsibility for what has transpired. You say that you would apologize for it, but you didn't. So I think I'm going to also add part of the clip in here now, where I read his explanation. He's doing too much right at this point. First, after all the backlash came, then he came out with a written statement. And so that was fine. So now he's doing a video tour on his podcast, Ricky Smiley. And I'm sure that he'll probably be going to other platforms explaining this away, when it's just as simple as owning up to your mistake, apologizing, and, moving on. People can respect that. But the more you do all of this, the more it's becoming abundantly clear that we have an issue with you and the house of God, and you have gotten that money in your hand. It was what you did. If you can't see the error of what you did, then can't help you. We try to explain it. Some people using jokes and stuff like that, memes, and I'll include some of the memes and everything that people are doing. But again, Marvin Sapp, just own it, move on. Make sure you all like, share, and subscribe. At the end of the video, like I said, I'm adding some more stuff in it. So watch to the end of the video so you all can enjoy all of that. And hit that like button. Come on now. Subscribe, like, share.
That's the truth. God expects you to do what the Lord wants you to do. It's the Lord's Spirit.
You were there.
Now it's time to pay the Lord.
Pay him up.
Pay that man his money. Now, while I collect the offerings, Brother Pathos here will lead us in a song. Brother Pathos?
I think I saw him on the hill the other day. I think I saw him when I watched the children play. But when I opened up my voice to sing him praise, he ran away, far away. My singing made sweet Jesus run away. I did not have to wait for judgment.
Wait a minute, hold on. This ain't working.
Oh.
$1. What's this, $1? No, we tried to do it the Lord's way. Now we're going to do it the good old 125th Street, 7th Avenue way. Give up the money now. Pay the Lord.
You want it heaven, now reach for it.
Yeah, give me them alligator shoes. Give it up. Give it up. I want shoes.
Now you're giving, brothers.
Who got that apple cake?
You're giving now.
The door is closed. The door is closed.
I'm writing lines to lift his name, no need for fame. My spirit fed, his word is spread, saves the aim. Pen to paper, truths I scribe, a soulful vibe. To glorify the Most High, let's amplify. I am spreading the faith I hold so dear. For every tear he's ever near. Choirs rise on Sunday morn, his love we adore. Each melody, a testimony, hearts reborn. In every verse a whispered prayer beyond compare, to lift the hearts of those in dark despair. We testify with every note we sing. In harmony, let freedom's bell ring. Rejoice and lift your voice. Let the sound of praise deploy. Marching to his beat we go. Face the seed we're here to sow. A standing strong through trials. Love's chapter will compile. A beacon shining, grace defining across the mile. In our stories his glory shines a light divine. Through the gospel groove his truth we move lives alive. Each Sunday pew, a vessel lined with grace anew. Souls intertwined, the word defined, it shines on through. Lifting high the cross we bear, in solace share. Hey, hey. The hymn we breathe, in him believe, it's love we declare. We're saved by grace in this old ever place. Voice is strong in this soulful song we embrace. I'm writing lines to lift his name, no need for fame. My spirit fed, his word is spread, saves the aim. Pen to paper, truths I scribe, a soulful vibe.